Good evening, guys. Welcome back to my channel, and if this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Alithia, and on this channel we do talk mostly about perfume, so if that is your thing, make sure to head on down and hit the subscribe button, and also feel free to head on over and follow me on Instagram. So today I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the newest Kayali, which is Eden Juicy Apple 01, and I do have some thoughts on this fragrance, so if you're interested in hearing what those are, then stay tuned. And yeah, please let me know down below if you've tried any new perfumes lately that you think I should get my nose on, or anything that you would like me to review for you guys. And with that out of the way, let's get started in today's quick video. Alright guys, so let's get into the newest release from Kayali, and this is Eden Juicy Apple 01. And if you guys are not familiar with the Kayali fragrances, the little number that's on the side of the name there indicates the amount of times they went back to the drawing board, so to speak, or the amount of times that they formulated this perfume before they figured out which was the best ratio of notes and combination and everything else. So for example, Vanilla 28 would have been 28 formulations before they found their like so-called perfect formulation, and this one was the first formulation, which unfortunately I have to say is evident in the juice. I feel like maybe it should have been taken back to the drawing board a couple of times. Spoiler alert. So this is the beautiful box that it comes in. All of the Kayali perfumes come in a similar box, very pretty shaped. They have this like beautiful sort of jewel diamond-esque nature about them. It does have the red on the outside, and this perfume was released just very recently, either a month or two ago in 2021. So this is what it looks like when you take the top off of the box, and I just absolutely love the way the Kayali fragrances are packaged. Their boxes are so beautiful, you could save them and use them as home decor. I really like the design. Everything about it is quite nice, and then of course this just would slide back over like that. And I also like that on the back of their boxes they do have the notes, most of the key notes written for the fragrance, and in this case it is juicy red apple, wild berries, jasmine, lychee, vanilla flower, and sensual musk. So you guys, this might be a little bit of a biased review because I don't really like the smell of red apples in any perfume. I know they have their fragrance Elixir, which I think also had red apples, one of the keynotes, and I didn't really care for that one either. So please take this with a grain of salt. If you are somebody who loves a fruity fragrance, if you're somebody who loves apple and berry in your perfumes, then you might very well absolutely love this. But because I have a YouTube channel talking about perfume, and because I also really like Kayali, I love Mona Katan and Huda, and I actually really love quite a few Kayali fragrances. Their Vanilla 28 is one of my favorites, all-time favorites. So of course, when I saw this one had come out in the beautiful red bottle, I was ecstatic to try it, and I think I will always be excited to try Kayali perfumes. I'm one of those people who still really likes the Kayali perfumes, and I do get excited for their new releases, although I still have yet to smell the Amber Invite Only, just because I'm quite certain that one is not going to work for me. I have not decided to order a bottle of that one yet, but comment down below if that's something you'd still like me to review. So this is the stunning bottle, and you guys, this bottle is absolutely beautiful, and to be really honest, again, spoiler alert, I wish that I loved this fragrance enough to justify keeping this bottle, because how beautiful is it? It's just this vibrant, racy red, and it looks like it would be something super seductive and super sensual and very feminine and very juicy. Yeah, so all of the Kayali bottles also have this beautiful kind of crystal gem lid on them, which I love. Love the overall shape of the bottle. I do like the simplistic design of the lettering, the Kayali there in the front. Everything about it is just really gorgeous. Huge fan of the Kayali packaging, as always. So the notes that you have in here are red apple, black currant, and lychee, and also pink grapefruit in the opening. In the middle you have wild berries, raspberry bloom, jasmine, and May rose, and in the base you have sugar, musk, vanilla flower, moss, and amber. So the opening of this fragrance is quite heavy in that berry and that apple. When I first spray this, I do get a fruity kind of a burst, and it really reminds me of a little bit like shampoo-y, and also a little bit like a body splash. I think most people are comparing this to the Victoria's Secret Pure Seduction body spray, if you've ever smelled that, and I have to say that on first spray that is exactly what this reminds me of. Maybe not exactly the same scent, but it really reminds me of a fruity, shampoo-y Victoria's Secret body spray. It is a little bit more complex than that. It does have a little bit of that sort of vanilla flower, sort of musky undertone. It says that there's also also amber and moss. But you guys, I would have loved if the amber would have come through a little bit more in this. For me, it's quite a simple composition. It's very simple from beginning to end. It's maybe like a notch above a Victoria's Secret body splash in terms of complexity and being interesting and all of that kind of stuff. So I do have it on my arm. I have had on my arm now for about half an hour, 45 minutes. So this is very much a first impression, by the way, you guys, but I can kind of give you my initial thoughts on it, and I'll tell you my final thoughts at the end. But I do have it on my arm here. So the opening was quite sweet and juicy and kind of energizing and invigorating almost. Very bubbly, very sweet, very fruity. For people who like those kind of scents, they would absolutely love the opening. The middle was a little bit generic to me. After a few minutes after I had sprayed it on my skin, it was really, really underwhelming to me. It was kind of, again, just reminding me of that Victoria's Secret body splash. I really don't like sort of the middle of this perfume. The dry down is a little bit better. In the dry down, that vanilla flower does start to come through a little bit more. I do get a little bit more kind of a warm, sugary vanilla flower, maybe a touch of moss and amber, not very much at all. I mostly get like a musky, fruity, slightly touch of vanilla in the dry down. Would have loved for there to have been more vanilla. What I'm mostly getting is, like I said, a fruity, sort of very nondescript, generic, musky, slightly vanilla dry down on my skin. Very, very soft. Again, I do have about 2 or 3 sprays on my forearm. I do have moisturized skin, and at this point it's very, very soft. It's not really projecting, wafting around. It's quite soft. I have to dig my nose into my skin to really get a good sniff of this. And at this point in time, it's probably my favorite that it has been throughout the entire cycle of this perfume. Wasn't in love with the opening just personally because I don't love apple and berries, but again, if you like fruity apple berry scents, you will probably love the opening of this because it is very juicy and very sweet and very feminine and very fun and playful and all of that kind of stuff. It definitely does smell like a fruit basket, sort of, in the opening, which a lot of people really like if they like that fruity smell. Again, the middle was a little bit generic and disappointing to me and really smelled like a Victoria's Secret body splash. And then the dry down is just kind of, like I said, nondescript, really generic, and just not very special. I'm disappointed in this one, you guys, to be really honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This, to me, is, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but it kind of is like a glorified version of a body splash and very, very expensive for what it is. I will not be keeping this. I do want to contrast it with another fragrance that I recently purchased that is in a similar looking bottle. Not that this is a compare and contrast video, but I just want to kind of give you a bit of a comparison, a little bit of an objective contrast for you guys, because I did recently talk about this other fragrance. So I did also recently haul and do a review on the new Viktor & Rolf Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid. If you guys have not seen the video for the Ruby Orchid review, I believe it was the last one that I uploaded, so definitely check that out. But this one, like I told you guys, I felt was very generic, very fruity, very sweet, just about as sweet as Flower Bomb Nectar. Didn't really think it was worth keeping, still on the fence about it. However, I have to say that the Eden Juicy Apple makes this one look like a very complex perfumey perfume that is 100% worth keeping, in my opinion, whereas this one would be like a body splash in comparison. I'm sorry to be so harsh in this review, you guys, because I usually love Kayali, and this is totally subjective. Some people probably absolutely love this one and probably really don't like the Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid, so this is super subjective. But just to give you guys some context, this makes this look like wow perfume, you know what I mean, in my opinion, whereas this is like a generic body splash if I'm comparing the two together. So again, not that this is a compare and contrast, but just to give you like an objective point of view, this one here, the Ruby Orchid, is a little bit more sensual, floral. It's more perfumey. It's more kind of grown and seductive and interesting, even though this is very basic and very linear, and again, not wow factor. This is not a perfume to write home about. This is not a perfume to get excited about. It is a beautiful perfume. It's very enjoyable. I'm still on the fence about this one because I do like wearing this one. I find it enjoyable, sweet, sensual, feminine. I do prefer the original Flower Bomb. hands down, if I'm comparing the two, I 100% prefer the original Flower Bomb. This one's a little younger, a little sweeter, a little more linear. It's not very complex. It actually smells quite different to the original Flower Bomb. This one smells more like Flower Bomb nectar. But when compared to the Kayali Eden Juicy Apple, it just makes this look like a body spray completely in comparison. So for me, this one here for me is, like I told you guys, 6 or a 7 out of 10 for me personally, but this one definitely is more perfumey, definitely smells like a perfume. It makes the Kayali smell like a body splash. I mean, the Kayali smells like a body splash, even if you don't compare it to another perfume. But just to give you guys an idea, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm rambling here, but hopefully that's a little bit helpful. So obviously in terms of longevity, I can't really give you guys how long it's going to last or compliments or anything like that. I'm sure that it probably would be enjoyable and maybe get some compliments, and maybe men would really like it and things like that. I think it would be a nice kind of a daytime, easy grab and go daytime perfume, especially for the warmer weather. I don't think it's really appropriate for winter, especially if you live where I live up here in Canada. Probably not appropriate for that. Definitely has a bit of a body splash nature to it. I think it's overpriced for what it is. I mean, the packaging and everything is beautiful, but the scent profile and everything, I really think you could spend 25% and go with a really nice body spray and be just as happy. But right now, as it sits on my skin, it is quite soft. And again, it's only been on my skin for about half hour, 45 minutes, 3 sprays, quite soft. Definitely not something that I think would last the test of time all day long or into the night or anything like that. Again, I can't say for sure because this is a first impression, but personally, you guys, I don't like this enough to even try it for a whole day. I just don't like it enough to even try it for a whole day. I don't like the way it smells, and I think it's really generic and really not that special, and I'm really sorry because I'm probably hurting some people's feelings, but I can only be honest with you guys. So this is really the first one from Kayali that's not only subjectively do I not like it, but objectively I don't think it's that great. Whereas all of the other Kayalis, I think, you know, they all have their pros and their cons, and depending on which way you looked at it, they all had pros and cons. I feel like this one is a little bit of a disappointment, if I'm being totally honest with you guys. I think this would be a really lovely gift for a younger person who wants to smell fruity, fresh, shampooey, or even if you like to smell fruity, fresh, shampooey, maybe it's nice. But this is just my own personal subjective opinion, you guys. So, you know, the opening is quite nice. The opening is quite fruity, fruit basket, juicy. Juicy Apple is the perfect name for this perfume. Again, my favorite part about this perfume is the bottle. It is the packaging, just like it was with the Viktor & Rolf Flower Bomb Ruby Orchid. However, this really makes Ruby Orchid look like wow, you know, in my opinion. So anyway, that is my thoughts on the Kayali Eden Juicy Apple. I hope that this video was a little bit helpful for you guys. And again, if you want to compare it to something, just go grab yourself a Juicy Berry Body Splash from Victoria's Secret, and you pretty much have a pretty good comparison as to what this is going to smell like. Yeah, so this one is gonna be going back, unfortunately, not making it into my collection. Hey guys, it's been another couple of hours, and I did want to come back and just kind of give you a quick update. And this perfume on my skin at this point is really, really soft. I can almost not even tell it's there. I do have to really dig my nose into my arm to get a smell, and if I kind of wave my arm around the air, I'm really not getting much of anything. It's incredibly, incredibly soft at this point. So I did want to give you that couple of hour update with this one. And yeah, that's it. So that was it for today's video, you guys, and those are my thoughts on the Eden Juicy Apple 01. Please let me know down below what your thoughts are as well. If you have smelt it, please let me know if you agree or disagree, and I look forward to chatting with you guys down below, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye for now.